Hi, it's Andy.
Hi, it's Dave.
Hi, it's Kirk.
Welcome to the A.D.K channel, and today we're going to be talking about the new EP coming out from the band Before the Sirens. And the EP is called Desolate Seas and Darkened Skies. Handing it over to you, Kirk.
Yeah, let me give you some context. So this is the Hertfordshire-based hard-rocking contemporary metal band Before the Sirens. This EP is a self-release and it will be available on the 2nd of June. There's 5 tracks here that all 3 of us enjoyed analysing. We've examined them in great detail, and I'm going to kick things off. First of all, I will just say, let's put this EP in perspective as to what it sounds, it represents, and how you can enjoy it if you know where it stands on the spectrum. So I think, personally, there's a big divide between hard rock and metal. Certainly when you look at it, where people are into rock just assume all metal sounds like Lorna Shore. People who listen to metal just assume that all rock now sounds like Shinedown, and there doesn't seem to be a middle ground. This band, I'm not saying they deliberately go for that middle ground, but wow, the production on this is like Godflesh. They've got the energy of Employed to Serve, yet they really do have those choruses that are catchy, and I don't mean that in a reductive, bland metalcore way either. Alan Davis, the vocalist, can really hold a note, and he enunciates in a clear English accent, so there's nothing whiny or for American in this. This is definitely an English record. And to me, it's all about the riffs. The first song, Low, opening drum beat, reminds me of Jimmy Chamberlain of the Smashing Pumpkins in their legendary song I Am One. It just speeded up a bit. The bass is really sharp, dangerous even in the mix, a real low growl to it. And just listen to the brutality of those syncopated riffs in the bridge leading up to the chorus. So be under no illusions, even though we're saying this is rock, this is the heaviest form of rock you're likely to hear. Now, Don't Let Me Go. There is some debate as to whether we've heard this song under another song title. I'll not open up that rabbit hole yet, but I will say I do like the spacey guitar tone at the beginning. Again, great chorus. And this isn't a band that just exists for choruses. If anything, I think they put a lot of priority on really showcasing the weight and the might behind those drop B guitars that you can really be capable of if you're using the right equipment and you know what you're doing in the studio. Now, unfortunately, I didn't do the research to find out who did the audio engineering, but if I was in a band, I would want the record to sound like this. It's rough, yet at the same time, it's really clear as well. The instrument separation is excellent. For me, the standout track, other than track number 1, Low, which is already the best song in their canon, is Under Darkened Skies. My only criticism of this, if you are writing a chorus as glorious as this, where you're really holding the note like Howard from Killswitch Engage, why are you only showcasing it 3 times in the song? You should be really repeating this. It's epic. It reminds me of Juno by Tesseract, where they do this really strange mid-chorus, which you never repeat again. And it's quite long phrasing with an offbeat. They do something similar here where they're holding a note. Do it more often. When you've got something as good as this, don't hold back the goods. There's no scarcity value here. But again, production and the guitar riffing is excellent. Shout out as well to Adam Aldridge on bass. Adam, Chris Tidy, the guitar player, and Alan Davis, the vocalist, have been playing in bands since the age 11. They're now beyond the age of 35. That is just incredible. It's incomprehensible to me. What was I doing at age 11? Playing hide and seek in the, or manhunt in the woods or football. So these guys know each other intimately. They've been playing together for so long, and you just know that their moment is now. So I'm going to hand it back to you, Dave. But yeah, this is a near flawless EP, and it raises the bar for rock and metal in England. Never mind Hertfordshire.
Well, what I'll do is I'll actually throw it over to Andy next to give his, and I'll do my feedback at the end before we do our kind of overall scoring. But Andy, what did you think of the EP?
Yeah, excellent. I agree with a lot of what Kirk said. The production is, absolutely fantastic. Certainly a world away from the sort of 4 songs that they've already released on the streaming services that I've been listening to recently. The riffs are excellent. The drum sound is excellent. Shout out to the backing vocals as well on some of the choruses. I think Adam, the bass player, is going to take credit for that. But yeah, really, really good really good EP. Very familiar. I think they played all bar the title track live. I might be wrong on that, but I'm listening to it, I was very familiar, and it was great to hear them on sort of recorded version. I like the sort of start staccato riffs that they play. The one in particular, one thing I've noted on track 3, Lights Out, they're all catchy riffs, they're all really memorable choruses, but I heard the pre-chorus of this song and I thought of two of my favourite albums of all time, Screaming and Bleeding and Front of the Salt by Angel Witch, vocals by Dave Tatum, one of my musical idols, and Kevin Hayborn. I just heard a couple of lines from that chorus and that is what I thought of, and that's a compliment to the guys. I also sort of heard sort of Tremonti and Alter Bridge style vocals, particularly in track 4, which is called Silence. But yeah, absolutely fantastic. I mean, there's a smattering of sort of death metal roars from Alan. I'd like to hear a little bit more of those, but obviously that's not really what they're about. But he throws in a couple of those, and sort of lyrically and vocally, that they're coming across as very personal, very from the heart, almost like personal struggles and the trials of life from the first person perspective, which I think is quite unusual. You hear the occasional song like that, to have a whole collection of songs in that style, I think it's quite unusual. But yeah, really, really enjoyed it. The production is really good, as you say, Kirk. You can hear all the instrumentation, you can hear the enunciation of the lyrics. Very, they're contemporaries in our local scene.
Okay. I'm going to go my feedback a little bit track by track, because that's how I kind of wrote my feedback with that view in mind. But yeah, I mean, Low is the obvious one that kind of kicks it off with that big thundering opener. I think overall the production, they spent more time probably focusing a little bit on the production on that particular track, just because I know that's their lead single, it's their lead. The music video for that's going to be obviously the first thing that comes out. And you do feel that one. There's been a lot of more work, in my opinion, put into this particular track. Not to say that production on the rest of them is not equally as good, but I think also the songwriting, the structuring of the song, it just works so well on Low. There's always opportunities on other songs where you can kind of tweak little bits. But I really, really enjoyed the song. I do feel that Low is about 10 BPMs too fast, in my opinion. It always feels like they're almost just about to fall over themselves and trip over themselves, because they're just going so quickly. I think if they dropped that by about 10 beats per minute, it would have felt a little bit more comfortable while still having that aggression and the speed to it. Love the midsection, and of course we've got that great breakdown at the end, which these guys are just known for their breakdowns. It's their thing. In Hertfordshire, they are the Hertfordshire breakdown kings, in my opinion, because they do it all the time and it works so well. I really like Don't Let Me Go. Great build up again, the big chuggy riffs. Over the verses, I almost wanted like a second scream vocal, punctuating the vocal lines that he was already putting there. It almost needed that double up one just to kind of again get the dynamics. It almost like they do in the band Seven Dust, where you had that clean vocal and that heavy vocals. That would work really well, and it almost gave me the vibe of a Seven Dust track, this particular song. It does get stronger as well as the song gets closer to the end. It gets more hooky for me. Lights Out, love the chuggy riff. Both first vocals were actually okay. It wasn't a strong vocal performance for me for Alan on that one. It was probably one of the weaker ones. It was less memorable. But I love the doubling up of vocals with Adam and the harmonies. They are really strong with the harmonies on this, and it works well. Again, also with those bits where they get into a song, get out of that midsection chug or breakdown, and then suddenly you get those harmonized vocals, and then they all kick back in musically. That's another staple of what we know from before the Sirens. My favorite song on the album or EP is Silence. I thought Silence was great. It brought in a real early 2000s, early metalcore kind of that sort of vibe. I was getting more of a Killswitch Engage vibe from this one, and of course the one we've also talked about under Darkened Skies. That really sounded like something that could have been off of an early Killswitch Engage album, or even like the End of Heartache album. But what I liked about Silence is Alan had a little bit more emotion in his voice. It almost like he let the emotion of the song carry him a little bit more, so it felt like he was a bit more connected. And I love the vocal layering overall on the tracks. For me, I wouldn't have put Low as the opening song on the album or the EP. Not having a build-up and just coming straight in with that thundering drums doesn't give the listener any kind of time to build into the album. I would have definitely gone with Low as the second track. and maybe put something like Don't Let Me Go as the first one, which has got a bit more of a build up to allow the listener to bring in. But again, it's down to the individuals. Just having that thundering drum and not giving you any pace, and it's being that fast, I don't know, it just felt a little bit more off for me. I would have probably just restructured the flow of the EP overall. But apart from that, absolutely loved the EP. I thought it was an absolutely stonking EP from the guys. But as always, we need to give us a score. So we have scoring of it's a bin it, a trade it, a stream it, or of course a buy it. So Andy, what's your scores on the doors?
I really hope they do physical copies, and in that case, it's a definite buy.
Okay,
100%.
Well, for me, unfortunately, it's going to be a bin it. Actually, no, so of course it's a buy it. Of course, it's a buy it.
I was about to gasp, and I thought, no, he's joking.
It's shit. No, it's a great album. Yeah, so it's a buy it from me. And Kirk, from yourself?
Yeah, I don't think they'll be sending it to the vinyl pressing plant, but can we please have a CD version of this? Definite buy it. To me, this is like a modern metalcore version of the UK Legends Therapy. I think they really have filthy pop moments in here that are really subversive, actually, and great songwriting. This is heavy as fuck. Sorry for swearing, but let's be clear about this. This is a heavy EP. So I would definitely buy this if it is available in physical format.
Okay, there you go. So that's a buy it from us at the A.D.K channel. Now, if you like this video, please do like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you on another video sometime very soon. Take care.